corner, and we'll get you set for tip. It's Utah State and UVU. And it's right here on the Utah State Radio Network, on the Aggie Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome on back. We're here at the Spectrum, and we are set for tip-off here tonight. The Utah State Aggies against the UVU Wolverines. Coach Becker, your keys to the game.
Hey, two things in this game: transition defense and rebound. Those are it right there.
Starters tonight: Crew Ainge in the starting lineup at point guard for Utah State. Sam Merrill, Quinn Taylor, Brock Miller, and Nemish Ketta. Ketta is going to go head-to-head here with Bailey Steele, and he will win the tip back to Crew Ainge. Isaiah White, Jake Toulson, TJ Washington, Connor Toulson, and Bailey Steele for the Wolverines. Here comes Sam Merrill driving right of the lane, lays it up and in, blows right by the defender.
I'll tell you what, if you're Utah Valley, that was your biggest concern, is guarding Sam Merrill off the bounce.
Coming down the floor for their first possession, TJ Washington with the ball now goes out left to Isaiah White. White now goes into the corner to a driving Jake Toulson. Toulson stopped by Merrill. Steps back now, tries to drive the baseline again. Goes across the paint, fires a pass to the right corner, and driving in with a galloping layup, but it's no good is Isaiah White. Here come the Aggies the other way. In the corner, three ball is up. Off the rim, no good from Sam Merrill out of that left corner. And here come the Wolverines the other way. Quickly down the floor they go. A handoff now is going to go to TJ Washington. He'll try to set up the offense. Now they go high out right to Toulson. Toulson hands off to a three-point shooter. Toulson to Toulson, knocks it down. As that time Jake Toulson gives it to Connor Toulson. Connor Toulson the three, Jake Toulson the assist.
The Aggies are going to need to handle that ball, or excuse me, the handoff a lot today. It'll be a lot of handoffs, a lot of ball screens.
Crew Ainge with the ball high up top. Now goes Quinn Taylor. Right angle three on the way. That's off the mark, no good. And the rebound comes down and is collected by Washington, who brings it up the other way. Washington gives back to Toulson for three out of the right corner. No good this time from Connor Toulson, and the Aggies have it the other direction. Sam Merrill now will run the point for a second. Between the legs dribble, takes a screen from Ketta. Now goes to the right angle to Ainge. Underneath to Ketta, who misses the dunk. He put it off the backboard, no good. The other way, Washington is cut off nicely on the defense by Quinn Taylor and Crew Ainge. Ainge cuts him off as he tries to drive the baseline, and he's called for a blocking foul.
It looked like Ketta was fouled on the play, maybe got hit on the arm, but you know, a lot of times referees are you know, a little, they're not quite ready for Ketta's height and to finish that high above the rim.
Well, he got up high, and it looked like a for sure slam dunk, and he put it off the backboard, no good. UVU with the ball here in the early going with a 3-2 lead. Connor Toulson drives into the middle, floats it up, and air ball over the outstretched arms of a defender, no good. And it'll be Utah State with the ball back. Connor Toulson definitely has the green light here tonight.
Yeah, you know, you know, I think that name in the history of Utah Valley has the ultimate green light.
Crew Ainge with the ball up by the logo. Will bounce pass it to Taylor at the top of the circle. Now goes to Sam Merrill. Floats out to the right angle. Down low to Ketta. Ketta going banging into the bodies of Steele. Now turns into the baseline. He's cut off. Goes back out to Crew Ainge. A floating, fading three ball short off the rim. No good.
Yeah, the Aggies kind of falling in love with the three-pointer here. I'd like to see him get something towards the rim again.
And here comes Jake Toulson, who finally gets it now to Connor Toulson. Now they go around the horn, and they get it to Washington. Right angle three. That's going to be long, no good. And some good looks by some of these players, but, well, not necessarily going into the basket here in the early going. 3-2, UVU on top of Utah State. Crew Ainge, left baseline, cut off. Now goes to Quinn Taylor at the top, who gives back to Ainge, who tries to cross over the middle, and now gives off to Merrill. Merrill will back it up. Back to Ainge, around the horn, into the right corner. Miller, down low, left block, Ketta, spinning, baseline. Little 5-footer, overshoots the basket, and UVU has it, is on the rebound, Isaiah White.
We're not setting any scoring records this far, but, you know, all, again, good looks by both teams.
White is going to take Crew Ainge into the paint, floats it up. The help comes from Ketta, and he shoots it off the backboard, no good. Here comes Taylor the other way. Euro step in the lane, floats it up, and one! Count the basket and the foul. Terrific move, an agile move that time from Quinn Taylor. 4-3 Utah State.
Yeah, great body control there to use the Euro step. You know, he obviously in the restricted arc, that's an automatic block. It doesn't matter where he hits him. You know, he's underneath the basket, and that's a great end one.
Quick changes now here. Diogo Brito is going to come in. So's Dwayne Brown Jr. It's a very early move here. The officials called the foul on 10. There is not a 10 on UVU, and this happens every now and again. Officials will accidentally give the number of the shooter and not the person who fouled, and the foul is going to end up going against Jake Toulson. So Jake Toulson will get that foul. Terrific play.
Yeah, this early in the year, you know, it's early for the referees as well, and they're just a little out of sync there. I like the substitution here. We didn't have a great start. You know, you get some new players in there, have the starters have a chance to relax.
Nimish Ketta, Brock Miller out. The free throw good, by the way. Torian Knight is also in the game, and they're bringing some full court press here. They go to Washington. Fades deep into that left corner, now throws across the court to Connor Toulson, or rather Jake Toulson, throws back over to Washington. He tries to penetrate left of the alley, and now is cut off, goes over to Connor Toulson right side. Straight away, Jake Toulson. Jake Toulson signals to a teammate to make a move, and now he's got nowhere to go at the top of the key. Shot fake at three, now goes over to the top of the key, and now back underneath Jake Toulson. Throws it back out up top, 5 seconds to shoot. Here comes Washington, crossover, jump shot, off the rim, no good. Quinn Taylor the rebound, outlet Torian Knight. Knight up the court with the shirt untucked, now goes right side to Merrill, underneath Quinn Taylor, lays it up and in.
Yeah, I'll tell you
7-3 Utah State, 16 minutes left to play in the first half.
Oldest play in basketball, right? We pass it to the wing and hit the first cutter. Great pass, great finish.
Here comes a handoff now to Connor Toulson. Now goes over to Jake Toulson, top of the key, tries to penetrate, can't. Goes into the right corner, nobody home, out of bounds. A turnover, and our first timeout. It's Utah State with the early 7-3 lead over UVU. 15:49 left to play here in the first half. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. Here at the Spectrum. Furious start here, Coach Beckert. 7-3, Utah State leads over UVU. And even though it hasn't been the highest scoring part of the early part of this game, frenetic pace from both teams here in the early.
Yeah, I mean, 15 shots, you know, in 4.5 minutes is fiery, right? There's 6 threes gone up. You know, they've only made one of them, but you know that's a lot of shots in a short amount of time, and I think that's what you can expect from this game. And as both teams kind of settle in, and you start to get a feel for the defense, you know, kind of look for some you know, outside shots. Who can make them first, and then who can control the glass on the misses.
7-3 Utah State in the lead. 15:49 left to play here in the first half. UVU starting 1 for 7 from the field, and Utah State all 3 of their field goals in the paint. A couple times they've really been able to get what they want.
Yeah, and that's really what Utah State wants to do. They want to finish at the rim.
Well, here we go. With the ball high out right, it's going to be Quinn Taylor. Goes to Merrill. Merrill on the right angle. Crosses over, now gets over into the paint, kicks out to Torian Knight. Crossover, now goes left of the lane, floats it up, off the glass, no good. Tip follow, no good. Rebound is going to be fought for, still in the air, grabbed by Taylor, out of bounds, stays with the Aggies. Unbelievable effort on the Karams.
Yeah, those are hustle points, right? That's something that you can stat. I mean, there's 4 deflections. You know, everybody's getting their hand on the ball, and there's, you know, Quinn Taylor always in the right spot, making the right play.
All right, and now Cotton is going to check in here. Drew Cotton for the Wolverines of UVU. Taylor on the low block left, going to work. Pump fake, up, under, off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for, scramble for, and a foul is going to be called on Taylor. He wanted a jump, but I think they got this right.
Yeah, I think it's the, the contact on Quinn's shot that, we call a couple ticky-tack hand checks, 40 feet from the basket, but, we don't get the contact on the two big men that are finishing above the rim.
Connor McDougal also in the game for UVU. Do you like this full court pressure the Aggies are putting on here early?
Yeah, we showed this last week, against the Delta Devils, and what it is it's taking time off the clock. There's not a lot of steals going on, but it's using a lot of clock.
The ball up top, trying to drive as Lowell. Has it poked, has it stolen. Torian Knight has a step on Cotton. Left hand layup in transition. It's good. 9-3, Utah State. 14:50 in the first.
Yeah, that full court pressure then translates, and it just speeds UVU up when they get in the half court.
Jake Toolson hands off to Lowell. Now they go to the high post. Now back to Lowell, and he lays it up and in. Nice pass that time by Connor McDougal to get it to him. On the other end, quickly, Diogo Brito, left baseline. And Brito flares to the left, now throws across the court to Merrill, high out right. Merrill throws deep into the corner. Brito drives the baseline, now kicks it out. Torian Wright on the right angle, straight away Merrill. Left angle, Dwayne Brown Jr. 3. Off the back rim, no good. High rebound, tapped out of bounds. It'll go to UVU. 9-5. Utah State in the lead, 14-13 to play in the first half. Nemish Keta back in. Quinn Taylor will take a seat.
Yeah, Nemish has a chance to take a breath, get a drink of water, kind of regroup. He started out shooting a little bit too much strength behind his little jumper.
Man, this is a lot of fun. This has not been a high-scoring game here so far, but yes, the pace has been up and down, and a lot of fun to see here tonight between UVU and Utah State. Connor Toolson with the ball on the right angle, guarded nicely by Diogo Brito. They go into the high post now as they go to McDougal. He looks for a couple of angles to pass, can't find anybody, goes to Cotton, now back top of the key. Now Jake Toolson tries to drive on Merrill's, cut off nicely. Left angle, 3-ball. Lowell knocks it down. We've watched him run a nice cut and finish, and that time a 3-ball. 9-8. Utah State's leads cut to 1.
Lowell's the guy that Coach Smith was really worried about coming off the bench. He thinks he's, got a lot of potential. He shows it right there.
Torian Knight goes straight away to Keta. Handling the ball out by the logo, goes back to Knight. Knight takes a screen from Merrill, but doesn't have anything with it. Now goes straight away to Merrill, left angle to Dwayne Brown Jr. Dwayne Brown Jr. will drive on the left angle, crashed into a foul. This one will go against Lowell, and they're going to call this down even though he did shoot the ball. I'm used to watching some NBA and G League, so I apologize as I wait to see if they're calling that a shot. My brain has to transition now into the college game because by the college standard, there is no way. He didn't even have to wave the arms, no shot. That was just obvious.
That's absolutely right. He's not, there's no continuation. Well, so they say, and then every once in a while they'll count when you think they shouldn't. So.
Bailey Steele is back in for UVU. Torian Knight set the inbound, lobs out to Dwayne Brown Jr. beyond the three-point line. He tries to drive. It's cut off, spins now into the middle. Beautiful left-hand finish. He covers a lot of ground on that spin, and great body control.
And there's another guy that they'll have trouble guarding if he can get, momentum to the basket.
11-8 Utah State. Bailey Steele is now in the high post. He's going to hand off to Cotton, who steps back, fires a left angle 3. Off the handle, no good. Torian Wright, the rebound. Here comes Knight. Up the floor, between the legs, dribbles straight away. Looks for Keta in the high post, hits him in the face, off the hands, and then Steele bobbles it out of bounds. Should have been a turnover. The Aggies got lucky.
Yeah, that's a freshman play there. We don't want to pass to someone that's a foot away from us, right? There's no benefit there. TK just needs to relax, pull it back out, kind of reset the offense. He'll get it as he goes, but still a freshman.
Now John Knight III is checked in for Utah State. So a number of different guys getting some action early and often in this game for the Aggies as they lead 11-8 here in the first half. Also in the game for the Aggies is Abel Porter. Here's John Knight III. Beautiful between the legs dribble, jump shot, back rim and in. Oh, what a smooth move from 15.
Yeah, John Knight's starting to get a little comfortable right there. He just kind of created some space, went between his legs, took a step back, and knocks down the J.
13-8 Utah State over UVU. Here's Washington trying to drive on John Knight III. Gets into the paint, kicks out. Connor Toolson at the top of the key, spins now to the free throw line, shoots a dotted line jumper and hits it. It's 13-10. Utah State still in the lead, 11:58 here in the first. Diogo Brito Comes around the screen, goes top of the key. Now around the horn, they go to the left side. John Knight III drives, slices defenders. Burrito on the right angle. Now Abel Porter, corner three, and he hits it. Great ball movement. Aggies up 16-10.
Yeah, I thought maybe Diogo would have been better to take the shot there, but he gave it up, one more to his buddy, and Abel knocked it down.
Aggies 1 of 5 from long range now. Bailey Steele in the high post, nowhere to go. And now goes back over to Washington, or rather, instead he goes to Isaiah White, who drives the right side, throws it off the glass, no good. Dwayne Brown Jr. has it. John Knight III with a head of steam, goes into the body of Connor Toolson. Bump, strip, taken away. And coming the other way is Washington. He's going to be fouled. Kind of a Euro foul to slow them down as he was getting out in transition.
Yeah, I think this pace is blistering, but I think it favors the Aggies. I think that, the amount of players we can play, this will help us.
11:08 to play here in the first half. We'll step aside. Utah State 16 and UVU 10. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield.
And substituting when necessary, and I like the full court pressure and creating this pace.
Utah State shooting 7 of 16 from the floor, 4 of 12 for UVU. And here come the Wolverines. Jake Toolson with it, now turns and hands back over to Isaiah White, who rises for an 18-footer. That is short off the rim, flat. Ketta grabs an easy rebound and hands it to John Knight III. Knight goes to the right corner and driving. Merrill up and under, scoop shot, no good. And it's rebounded by Bailey Steele.
Yeah, just a bunny there. He'll want that one back.
Boy, yeah, that's usually when he'll finish. Steele, a straight on three. That's no good. He's a 14% shooter. Not sure if that's what Coach Pope wanted there.
He's kind of a liability on offense, and there he just stand and shoot that. Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be happy with that. He'll hear about it in the film room.
You're wide open for a reason. Jake Toolson at the 15-foot mark, probes, now tries to go left hand. Nemish Ketta says, get that out of here. Swipes it.
Yeah.
He made a nice move to try to create some space, but Ketta's length erases a lot of that room.
Yeah, a little jump step, shot fake, which got Sam in the air, and then he stepped under, but Ketta keeps his feet and just swats that into the fourth row.
Far more polished than I actually expected him to be. Even with some of the experience he's had, you can tell he doesn't just have the experience, he's made the most of it. Here is into the right corner, now to the right angle rather, to Washington. He drives right of the lane, splits defenders underneath, Steele goes up for a dunk. He's blocked on a foul. Now the big question is a couple things. Shot clock violation before the foul? And they are going to say yes. It is a foul on Nemish Ketta. Attempt on the dunk for Bailey Steele, and he'll shoot two.
Yeah, I thought I was...
Fans don't like it. They thought it was a clean block.
Yeah, and I think they'll get together and decide if they can review this. I'm not sure you can review it if they didn't call it. I think if they call a shot clock violation, they can review it, but I'm not positive, and I think that's what they're trying to decide now. I saw a lot of red, on the lamp up there, so it's clearly red.
It was very close. I can't say for certain. I was 100% sure either way.
Yeah.
And the fans didn't like it. They thought it was a clean block anyway.
Yeah. And watching the replay, it looks like it was a clean block. So, part of the problem there, let's get back to basics. Quinn Taylor didn't collapse on the weak side. It should have been his man, when Ketta came over to help. So it's a mistake on defense, and the Aggies are penalized for that.
Brock Miller in, John Knight III will sit down. Toolson, being Connor Toolson now, checks back in for UVU. Second free throw, no good.
Ball don't lie.
It has been tough for Steele in a number of areas. Shooting has been a problem for him. Rebounding, not so much. And he plays very hard, but shooting has been an issue. Came into tonight just 14% from the field. Here's the left corner. Brock Miller shot fake a three, now drives to the right angle. Floats up a 10-footer off the glass, no good. Rebound is grabbed by UVU. And a foul against Nemish Ketta. That'll be his second.
Yeah, that's it's an unnecessary foul, and that's the freshman coming out. We talked about good experience when he has the ball, but he does us no good sitting on the bench now for the last 9 minutes of the game.
So here we go, 9:35 left to play here in the first half. Utah State 16, UVU 10. The Aggie defense been really tough here in the early going. Here is Toolson with a catch and shoot three coming off a screen. Loose ball, foul on the rebound. This is going to go against Bailey Steele at UVU, and Utah State will have the ball.
Yeah, it's similar to the foul that Ketta just got. As a big man, that's just a waste, right? We're not in junior jazz where you can just jump over the guy and tip it back. And sometimes you just have to, if you haven't done your work early, you have to just give up on that rebound.
Connor McDougal comes in. He replaces Steele. Connor McDougal, the 6'9" freshman from Tempe, Arizona. Here's Brock Miller. Goes into the left corner, and Abel Porter barrels over a defender. They're going to call an offensive foul as he was driving the base.
Yeah, that's an easy call once you see that arm extended and the defender flying. So, Abel, it's hard to, there's not a lot of space there to drive on the baseline, but, I think he's just trying to create something for another player and got caught with an offensive foul.
Abel Porter with a quick word over to Jake Toulson, who draws the foul. Jake Toulson with a quick little shoulder shrug at him, and they go back to action. Here's Washington, top of the key, comes around a screen for McDougal, now drives left of the lane, turns, goes to the right angle, shot fake, a three by Lowell, now dips underneath for McDougal, fights through contact, and lays it in. Nice play.
Yeah, without Ketta there to be a rim protector, there's no challenge, and they're able to just get an easy layup.
16-12 now our score. Utah State in the lead over UVU with 8:31 left to play here in the first half. Dwayne Brown Jr. spinning into the middle, has it stolen. Here come the Wolverines in transition. Layup attempt is put up and no good from TJ Washington, and now the Aggies are coming the other way. They tried to press and push, and the Aggies collapsed perfectly. Merrill goes into traffic, flying through the trees, contact, no foul, throws it off the rim. Washington heading the other way with numbers on the left side. A three is an air ball over everything from Jake Toulson. Aggies have the rebound, and a foul is called, and this is going to be on Connor McDougal. Boy, I tell you, guys are moving quickly. There's a lot of good pace, but the shots have not been great. I mean, Toulson's wide open there, and he just overshot everything.
Yeah,
missed it all.
I don't know if that's because we're speeding them up a little bit, and they're not able to get a clean look at. But that looked, feet set. That's a shot that he probably would like to have back.
Oh, yeah, 8 minutes left here in the first half. 16-12 Utah State. Right side, Abel Porter, now right angle to Sam Merrill, and he probes with contact, now floats it up, through contact, 10-footers an air ball, rebound Quinn Taylor, back up, block, no foul, rebound is now grabbed, this time by Connor Toulson. UVU has it. I tell you what, bumps aren't fouls tonight.
Yeah, underneath the basket, the physical play, I think this favors Utah Valley, so we need to either get some help from the refs or we need to firm up a little bit.
McDougal trapped on a double team by Taylor and Brito. He gets out of it. Now is going to hand off to Connor Toulson around the screen. Toulson then runs into Taylor, now floats it over. Taylor from 10 feet, he rises up and hits. It's 16-14, Utah State in the lead.
Yeah, last two possessions, the absence of Ketta has really showed its ugly head.
So Ketta comes out, and UVU able to crawl this thing back to a 2-point game. 7:05 left to play here in the first half. 16-14 Aggies. Merrill out by the half-court logo. Holds up high, now flares out left. Goes to Taylor, top of the key. Drive, left. Put it up off the glass. No good with the left hand. Now pokes away a rebound. Gets it to Brito for three. That's off the side of the glass. No good. And UVU the other direction. Now we have a whistle as contact in the paint away from the ball, and we have a foul against UVU. And
yeah, that's
McDougal.
So there's Sam Merrill in the lane, and McDougal is crashing to the basket and doesn't see him and runs right over him, and it's an offensive foul.
All right. So 16-14, Utah State with the lead here in the first half with 6:46 to play in the first half of action. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. The Spectrum, Utah State leads over UVU by the score of 16-14 with 6:46 left to play here in the first half. Rebound numbers, slight edge going to Utah State at 17-14. Both teams shooting 30%. Both teams shooting poorly from three, as it's 2 for 8 for UVU, 1 for 6 for Utah State. And in this game here, Utah State started to really win in the paint, especially points in the paint, but Neemish Ketta with 2 fouls here in the early going. That's changed this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And offensively, it hurts you because, he was sucking that defense in to cover him. Defensively, it hurts you because there's nobody to give any resistance at the rim.
For UVU, Connor Toulson is the only starter to have a field goal for the Wolverines. in the early going. Utah State with the ball, moving right to left here on your radio dial, and an offensive foul is called on a moving screen against the Aggies. And this is going to go against John Knight III. So for John Knight, this ends up being his first foul. This is the 7th team foul, but no shooting with player control.
Yeah, just kind of a useless moving screen there. I don't think you really needed to do it.
So straight away, Cotton in the game now for the Wolverines. As he hits Connor Toulson coming off a screen. He gets to the logo in the paint, floats it up over a defender, and scores. Connor Toulson with some nice catches and some nice finishes here. And you mentioned Ketta not being in there changes everything. It's all tied up. 16 apiece with 6:10 to play in the first half.
You know, baskets coming at the paint, you know, that they weren't making those with Ketta in the game.
John Knight III splitting defenders as he gets into the paint. Drives towards the hole. He's blocked and fouled. And never mind, this is going to be called down. This foul is going to be called down as the foul was called on Isaiah White with the blocking foul.
Yeah, that's right about the free throw line. So, you know, unless he's, you know, going in the act of shooting, which he wouldn't be from there, we'll throw it on the baseline.
All right, and when it comes to team fouls, by the way, that is 6 for UVU. So both teams with defensive fouls will be shooting. Here's a 3 from Sam Merrill. It's going to be long and off the back or off the rim rather. Then a tap rebound by Dwayne Brown Jr. is put in and scored by Knight. What a play.
Yeah, just a real hustle play, right? Dwayne gets in there, he flies in there and tips it to his buddy, and there's TK to make an easy shot.
All right, Washington with the ball up top. Now drives right into the defender, which is Sam Merrill, and finishes over him with the left hand. Sam Merrill tried to draw the charge and wasn't able to get it. 18 apiece.
Yeah, unfortunate not to pick up a block there. I think his feet were in the restricted arc.
Here comes Merrill, takes a screen from Taylor, now hands off Torian Knight. Left angle 3, off the rim, no good. The rebound comes down to Connor Toulson. UVU tied up with Utah State, 18 apiece, and he has it stolen away by Torian Knight. Headed the other way against Washington, and he scores it over the top of a trailing defender. 20-18, Aggies in the lead.
Well, he just really finds a way to, you know, he makes a mistake and then just gets right back and makes up for it. He's been great at tipping the ball away and getting it himself.
UVU running a weave there at the top. Washington crosses over on Torian Knight, drives left of the lane, puts it up with the left hand and in. They know there's nothing back there to block it, so they are going right at the Aggies, and they're able to get in the paint and get some good looks. 20 apiece. Diogo Brito is going to hand off to Dwayne Brown Jr. Now straight away to Sam Merrill. Merrill goes back to Quinn Taylor. Left angle, Dwayne Brown Jr. drives the base. Baseline drive, baseline drift. They go now to the right angle. It's a 3-ball by Merrill. That's no good. Rebound Dwayne Brown Jr. up with it off the rim, and he's fouled. He will shoot 2. The Aggies are getting some looks from 3. They're not hitting from 3 tonight. This has been a rough night shooting from the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, Sam, he can't get more open. He's at 7-11 at 11:30 at night, wide open, and not able to knock it down. But there's Quinn Taylor, right? Quinn tips it over to Dwayne. Dwayne's able to get a foul and almost an and one, but we're to the line shooting free throws.
Tonight's game, by the way, brought to you by H&R Block. Aggie fans, with the new tax changes, make sure you speak with experts at H&R Block and Logan to help stay on track for this upcoming tax season. First free throw good. And some subs now, as Brock Miller's going to come in the game. Fakira is going to come in the game. The Aggies need some size, and that's obvious with the move there with Fakira.
Yeah, you know, with bringing Steele back in the game, and you could tell that Quinn is working hard enough to be breathing heavy. You know, I'd like to see what Ben Fakira can do. This is a good matchup for the two of them.
Second free throw off the rim, off the top of the glass, knocked out of bounds. It's going to go to UVU. The Aggies, by the way, in this game so far, shooting just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. They came into tonight as a pretty good three-point shooting team. 19th in the country.
Yeah, and most of that was coming after multiple dribble penetration baskets, and we're not getting that dribble penetration, and so we're relying too heavily on the 3 right now.
21-20, Utah State in the lead. 4 minutes left to play in this first half.
Oh, I believe he stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds. It was, oh no, excuse me, it might have been a screen out of bounds as well. It's a possibility for that.
That's right.
So that is going to end up being a situation where turnover gives the ball to Utah State. And with 4 minutes left to play here in the first half, we have a timeout, so we'll step aside. Utah State 21, UVU 20. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. To the spectrum where the Aggies lead over the Wolverines of UVU by the score of 21-20 with 4 minutes left here in the first half. Hey, don't forget, Quick Quack Car Wash is now open in Providence. Quick Quack Car Wash, don't drive dirty. This game has been mucked up a few different ways, even though the pace has been at a frenetic level. But both teams in the bonus here in this situation. Both teams trying to find some consistency with shots going down.
Yeah, I mean, if most of our fans have watched UVU over the years, I mean, they are scrappy. You know, they just kind of get after you, and again, take the persona of their coach. The Aggies need to answer the bell here and get some easy baskets in transition.
Torian Knight leads all scorers for the Aggies with 6. Here's a jump shot on the way from Dwayne Brown Jr. from 18. That's no good. Rebound is tipped out of bounds. It's going to be going to UVU, even though the crowd thought it should be Utah State's ball. I think they probably believe that more times than not.
Yeah, great turnout from the student section Friday night. We got them out and loud in their white shirts.
They look fantastic out there. Utah State up 21-20. Left side, they go to T.J. Washington. He tries to come around a screen and ends up having it poked away. Loose ball out by the midcourt line, and it is an over and back. It'll be a backcourt violation. Now the officials are going to talk because the Wolverines believe that there was a foul. Coach Pope can't believe it, as he thought Washington on that fumbled ball back towards half court was fouled on the play.
Yeah, you know, it's which came first, right? The push or him stepping out of bounds, and you know, the officials got together and it went the Aggies' way.
There might have been a little bit of contact, but like I said, man, bumps aren't fouls today. They've been letting a lot go. High out left, Brock Miller now goes into the left side of the corner. Torian Knight drives the baseline, floats it up over. A defender has it blocked at the apex. Wow. Fakira chases down the loose ball, goes back to the left corner to Torian Knight. Here's Brock Miller, right angle three, good! If you have a tough time knocking down threes, give it to that guy. And immediately went up with it.
Yeah, you know, Brock left the game early. It looked like he was limping a little bit, but he, you know, he came back and just jumps up and knocks it down 3 feet behind the arc.
Miller now defending Cotton, who flares it out left to Washington. Crosses over left. Knight guarding him nicely. Cut off by Fakira now. Floats it back. Shoots a long two. That's off the rim. No good. And it's Miller with a rebound. Outlet now to Brito. Brito coming down the left side. Looking to the middle goes Miller. Miller crossover. Shot fake at three. Goes to Brito. Gets by a defender. Drives in left. Floats it up nicely on a reverse off the glass and in. 26-20. Utah State with the lead. 2.5 minutes left to play here, and we have a timeout called by UVU. 2:27 left to play here in the first period. It's Utah State 26, UVU 20, right here on the Utah State Aggie Network from Learfield. Over UVU. Coach Beckert, I tell you right there, that sequence, Coach Pope wanted a timeout. His team there seemed to lose a little bit of focus, and Utah State found something on offense.
Yeah, for sure. And what it was, dribble penetration, right? Diogo Burrito's able to get to the other side of the rim and finish with a reverse layup.
The Aggies were 1 of 9 from 3 before Miller knocked down that last one. UVU with the ball moving left to right. 2:15 left in the first half. Both teams in the bonus fight now. As Toulson throws it down low. McDougal goes to work on Dwayne Brown Jr. Tries to spin to the outside. Floats it up with the right hand. No good. Rebound. It's grabbed by Brito. Brito coming the other way. Now goes to Miller. Right corner three. It's blocked. And the loose ball is grabbed by Quinn Taylor. Thrown out from Merrill. Now a left corner three on the way. That's no good from Dwayne Brown Jr. Taylor chases down the loose rebound out of bounds. And it will go to UVU with 1:52 left here in the first. Now making his first appearance, Richard Harward, 6'11", 255-pounder out of Orem.
All right. Well, they just keep coming with bigger players, but again, I think the skill level offensively leads to the Aggies. But Quinn Taylor is gassed right now.
Washington, there's it out now to Lowell. They go back up top to Washington. Goes away from a screen now from Harward. Gets into the lane, floats it up off the glass, no good. Loose ball is knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Utah State. If the Wolverines are not able to do more with the situation with Kenta being out, that's a huge win for Utah State.
Yeah, I mean, being able to stretch the lead here is, you know, is phenomenal. It's what you want to do, and hopefully Kenta can get a feel for what's going on out there sitting down watching.
Here's Quinn Taylor, throws back straight away to Merrill. Merrill flares out right. Backs it up just a little bit. Plenty of time to shoot with 15 on the clock. Drives the baseline, floats it up and scores.
Yeah, just a mismatch for Washington right there. He just shoot right over the top of him.
So Sam Merrill now in the game with 4 points. Utah State has increased their lead to 8. It's 28-20. Connor Toulson throws back to Jake Toulson as they run a weave at the top of the key. Jake Toulson crosses over, is cut off again by Quinn Taylor. And now he tries to go back to the middle, barrels over Sam Merrill, no call, loose ball. Taylor ahead to Dwayne Brown Jr., throws it down with 2 hands. Gritty, tough defense. The Aggies are on a terrific run here towards the end of the first half. 39 seconds left in the first half, a 30-20 lead for Utah State. It's a 10-0 run, whistle blows, something away from the ball, and this is gonna go against Brock Miller, which will lead to bonus free throws, 1-1.
Yeah, you know, the Aggies, the adjustment they've made coming out of that last media timeout was to increase their physicality. You know, I mean, it looks, you know, that like Utah Valley's screaming for a foul now on every possession, and that means the Aggies are playing hard.
Aggies with their biggest lead at 10 right now. 34 seconds left. 1-1 for Connor Toulson. Free throws off the rim, no good, and an offensive rebound is going to be grabbed that time by Harward. He tried to put up a reverse layup, and he missed. Boy, that's, coaches know missing the front end of a 1-on-1 is as good as a turnover.
Just, you know, it's just a giveaway.
Brito with 1 second difference between shot and game clock, goes to the high post to Quinn Taylor, and he goes to catch it. Defender goes through him. It'd be pass interference in football. It's just a simple foul in the game of basketball, but this will lead to free throws, as I think that was Jake Toulson who tried to go through him there. And so free throws now 1-1. So Quinn Taylor at the free throw line, sets his feet, rises, fires, and hits. It's an 11-point lead for the Aggies. Torian Knight in. Brock Miller will come back, and he's jogging and limping just a little bit there. You're hoping he's okay, and of course all Aggie fans nervous after seeing anything wrong with his feet after what took place last year.
Yeah, you know, you don't know if that's just a little irritation, maybe a little contusion, maybe they bumped knees. You're not really sure at this point.
Taylor, second free throw. That's good. 13.2 seconds left to play in the half. The Aggies, by the way, the 9th best free throw shooting team in the country. He hits both of those. 32-20. 9 seconds. Here's Washington. High out left. 7 seconds. 6. Takes a screen from Harward. Floats out right. Nowhere to pass. Nowhere to shoot. Shot clock down to 2. Down to 1. Here's Connor Toulson for 3. Back rim no good. And the first half comes to an end. A 12-0 run for the Aggies and a 12-point lead. 20 minutes in the books. And we'll have the halftime report coming up around the corner. The score, 32 for the Aggies, 20 for the Wolverines. You're listening to Utah State Basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's crucial, more crucial for them, right, to come out and try to put some points up. I think for the Aggies, it's, you know, can Kenta get back in the flow? You know, he sat down there for 13, 14 minutes plus a 15-minute half. You know, not a lot of warm-up time when you come out at halftime. So, you know, let's get his motor going and get him back involved. I'd like to see some touches offensively. He didn't have a great job with his back to the basket. I think he missed those 2 bunnies, maybe the one he got fouled on. So I'd like to see him get the ball and get involved early.
Nemish Kenta back with Quinn Taylor. It'll be Sam Merrill, Diogo Brito, Brock Miller for the Aggies. On the other side, T.J. Washington with Jake Toulson. Connor Toulson also on the floor as well to go with Bailey Steele. And I'm trying to see exactly who else they brought down. I'm a little blocked out with who else they have on the floor. Indeed, it is Isaiah White. So they're starting 5 back on the floor to start the second half of action. UVU with the ball. Moving now right to left on your radio dial. Toulson tries to throw for Steele, and it's stolen by Nemish Kenta. Here come the Aggies the other way, and they'll slow it down as Sam Merrill will set up a half-court play. Merrill will hand off to Brito, now goes straight away to Quinn Taylor. High out right to Merrill, and he'll drive left, kick over. Taylor, 15-footer from the base, good! 34-20, Utah State in the lead.
A wonderful start by the Aggies. That's why you have Kenta in there. He can take care of the middle.
Connor Toulson, rather Jake Toulson, back over to Connor Toulson. Here comes Washington to the middle, right side. Shot fake, trying to drive the baseline as Connor Toulson bumped and fouled by Miller. I think this will be his second foul. Indeed it is, and it's the first foul of the second half.
Yeah, you know, those are the ones that kind of kill you, but he did get lifted off the ground a little bit, and that created the contact, and it's his second foul.
Washington inbound for the baseline, shot clock at 20. Here is White with the ball, now hands off to Connor Toulson. Connor Toulson throws it up off the glass, off the rim, no good. Ketta grabs the rebound, and the Aggies have been on a 14-0 run going back to the last half and into this one. Merrill floats to the baseline, now drives baseline, cut off. Passes down the baseline to Brito, who collects. Throws to Ketta. Ketta now on the high post, holds up high. Now kicks back out to Brito straight away. Brito drives, slashes into the lane, throws it off the glass, no good. And it's rebounded by UVU. Connor Toulson with the ball is going to hand off to Washington. Washington straight away. Bounce pass to Bailey Steele. Tries to collect. Double team. Floats it up over both defenders. Off the rim twice. No good. And the rebound by Taylor. Outlet to Sam Merrill. Merrill. Long court pass. Left corner Miller. Shot fake. Steps inside. Hits the 15-footer. Brock Miller. Great move to shot fake. He knew the defender had to sell out to try and get a hand up. It's a 16-0 Utah State run. It's a 16-point lead at that. 36-20 with 18 minutes left to play. Bailey Steele a jumper, and he has been ice cold all year. No good on that 18-footer. Here's a shot up by Washington. No good. Taylor fouls Isaiah White from behind as he grabbed the offensive rebound and went back up with it. And White will have a chance with 2 free throws to end this drought.
Yeah, and unfortunately it comes off an offensive rebound, which the Aggies have worked so hard not to give up. But, you know, looking back over to the offense, I mean, Brock Miller, that's a part of his game. If he can develop that, he's even harder to guard.
The free throw is good from White. 6:42 was the drought. 6:52 rather. The drought there without a point for the Wolverines of UVU. Incredible. Going all the way back to the end of the first half. Second free throw, no good. 15-point lead for the Aggies. 36-21, 17:45 left to play here in the game. Miller throws up top. Ketta takes a couple dribbles, fakes the handoff. Now throws it back out to Miller on the right side. Straight away, Merrill tries to drive past the defender, instead throws back up straight away to Brito. Around the horn they go, now down on the low block right. Ketta tries to find a cutting Taylor. He has it knocked out of his hands and then off of his hand out of bounds. It'll go to UVU.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask Coach, you know, in the post game, you know, what the thought process was to have Sam come out and start at the point guard, you know, position. This is not new. We've seen him at point before, but to start the second half, that's new.
White throws down low onto the base, and they're going to go this time to McDougal. McDougal comes across the lane, throws it up, air ball no good, blocked and fouled by Nemish Ketta.
Yeah, and that's what the Wolverines were looking for, right?
Yeah, or hit his arm, rather.
Yeah, he looks like he's straight up, but he did come over the top there, and that's what they wanted. They want to kind of pick up maybe a couple cheap fouls on him and get him back out of the game.
So McDougal, first free throw on the way, back rim no good. This is the third foul on Ketta. Looking over at the bench, nobody's coming in for him. Lowell will come in for UVU. He's going to replace White.
Yeah, I mean, I think he sat that long in the first half, right? So if you bring him back out again, you're just never going to have any flow with him.
Second free throw is good. So splitting the free throws is Connor McDougal. It's 36-22. Aggies with a 14-point lead, 17-12 left to play in the game. Diogo Brito throws across the court for Brock Miller. High out left side. Sam Merrill take a screen from Ketta. Stops, goes, now drives into the paint. Outside, Miller a three, no good. Rebound, Ketta going over the top of a defender. Merrill a straight on three, in and out, rebound. Is going to be grabbed by McDougal, he hands off. Rather, it was kind of halfway down and out, not necessarily in and out. Driving down, Washington gets right by Diogo Brito and lays it up and in. And it's 36-24. Merrill floats out to the right side. Trying to direct some traffic, now cuts across the alley, now goes over to Taylor, who lobs down low for Ketta, who saves it into Miller. Miller floats one up from 10. That's going to be short off the rim, no good. And the rebound is grabbed by UVU. The other way, Jake Toulson. Toulson throws to the left side. They go to Lowell, now underneath, McDougal, up, under, shot fake, block! Knocked away, Quinn Taylor grabs the loose ball. Great coverage that time by Ketta and Diogo Brito.
Yeah, Diogo held him off, and Ketta kind of stayed away and timed his jump so he could get a block there.
16 minutes left to play in regulation. 14-point lead, 12-point lead rather for the Aggies. They go into the right corner, Brito has it, and a foul is called on UVU. This will go against McDougal, and we have a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, for those of you that have watched the Aggies for a long time, that was dribble. So he's taking a play out of Stu Morrow's playbook, and we end up with a foul on the play.
With 15:56 left in regulation, Utah State 36, UVU 24. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. Tonight at the Spectrum, where the Aggies lead over the Wolverines of UVU 36-24 with 15:56 left here in regulation. Tonight's game is brought to you by Larry H. Miller Dealerships. They're a proud sponsor of Aggie Athletics and proud to sponsor tonight's game. Tonight's game is also brought to you by H&R Block. They're locally owned by Utah State alumni and a proud sponsor of tonight's game as well. With Lance Beckert, I'm Tony Parks. Thanks so much for having me along for the ride here tonight. Scotty G will be on the call for the Utah State football game tomorrow against Colorado State. That's why I'm with you here tonight. A lot of fun, so thanks so much for allowing me to be on the ride with you all here tonight. Aggies with the ball. Merrill puts one up from 15, back rimming in. Nice play, Sam Merrill.
Yeah, you know, I think the three hasn't been falling for him, so he's brought it in a little bit and shooting that 15-footer.
Oh, 38-24. Aggies push the lead back up to 14. Here comes Washington slicing through defenders, loses the ball, has it taken away. Torian Knight going the other direction. 3-on-3. He hands off to Burrito. Shot fake on the baseline, puts it up, no good. Thought he was fouled. He very well may have been.
Yeah, I don't think he's just jumping up there and missing the bunny like that.
Coach Craig Smith slapped his hands together out of frustration there. Floater on the way from Connor Toulson off the glass and in to make it 38-26. Whistle blows as somebody lost their shoe. Is that Washington?
Yeah, Washington loses it on the drive and then ends up, playing defense without a shoe and hustling back.
Well, he's playing offense without the shoe that time.
Yeah, I think he was down and back that whole time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I never saw that.
He lost that on the drive.
When he lost the ball.
When he lost the ball, he lost his shoe.
Yeah, tough to get back on defense with a sock on out there on the hardwood. Nemish Ketta holding high up right. Bounce passes over to Torian Knight straight away. Torian goes to the right angle to Merrill. He floats to the right side, has it knocked away. Nemish Ketta out there for the loose ball. It's picked up by Merrill. Merrill goes to the left side. Torian Knight drives left angle. Knocked out of bounds as he tried kind of a leaning layup that time from a low angle. Good defense by UVU. 10 on the shot.
Yeah, a lot of times he's able to use his speed right there and just kind of scoop that in, but defenders are there to block it.
They inbound right of the basket. Knight from the baseline, passes into the corner. Dwayne Brown goes into a defender, tries to force it up, has it knocked away. Ketta floats it up from behind the backboard. It ends up hitting the rim. It's no good. And UVU grabs the rebound as it was Isaiah White.
Yeah, shot clock going down. A bit of a horse shot there, but you had to get one up on the rim. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah, somebody would have gotten an H had he made that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Lowell, shot fake a three from the right side. Now tries a bounce pass and a kick ball. Well, keep possession with UVU. That ball was headed out towards midcourt.
Yeah, the kick ball. That's always, that's a hard judgment call sometimes. Coach Smith thought he just threw it off his foot, but the referee stops it.
Shot clock resets to 20 in this situation. Ketta will sit down after some really hard-nosed minutes there, and Quinn Taylor now comes into the game. 38-26, Utah State in the lead here with 14.5 to play in regulation. Cotton with the ball straight away, goes right by Torian Knight, drives left, lays it up, it's blocked off the glass by Knight. Fans explode to life as Diogo Brito comes the other way. Here's Knight, steps in for a long two, he hits it! Terrific play on both ends by Torian Knight. He got beat on the defensive end, recovered with a block, knocked down a jumper on the other end. It's a 14-point lead again. 14:04 left to play in regulation. Connor Toulson, double team, throws to the left side. Lowell fires up a three, he hits it. That'll silence the crowd for just a moment. And a 30-second timeout is called by Coach Pope. It will be extended to a full.
Yeah, what an absolute hustle play there by TK. He gets beat, blocks it, gets down to the other end. I love it. Love to see that from the freshman.
40-29. Utah State on top of UVU with 13:56 left to play in regulation. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. Tiger playing from the live band that's here tonight at the Spectrum. They look good. They have the guitars out there, the drums. The fans having a great time with that tonight. The whiteout has been taking place. The pom-poms have been bouncing around throughout so much of the night. It's been a very festive atmosphere here at the Spectrum. Don't forget, you can join us with that. Go to UtahStateAggies.com. They have all the information about Aggie basketball season tickets, mini plans, and single game ticket options. Go to UtahStateAggies.com. 13:56 left here in regulation. Utah State up 40-29, and Coach Beckert, you know, the Aggies have pulled away. They were up by as much as 16. UVU's been able to just hang around enough, and that last three by Lowell made it an 11-point game.
Yeah, you know, the Aggies doing a lot of things right, and just a couple more finishes, and really need to step on their neck right here.
All right, the Aggies with the ball moving left to right. Straight away, Torian Knight with the ball. Tries to drive past the defender, gets by him. Beautiful move, but can't finish off the glass and off the rim, no good. And a loose ball rebound is going to be called on the ground. This one will be on Bailey Steele. Yeah, for Steele, this is his second team foul to go with that. And so we have a 40-29 game. Aggies with the ball, fresh shot clock. Merrill, shot fake from 15, goes left side, three ball. Quinn Taylor, short, no good. Rebound to UVU, and it's White, or rather Washington.
Yeah, good look, just a little short. Oh, cut him there off
Washington
off
leaves it off for Lowell, who tries to drive right by a defender, and it's a blocking foul that time. Who was that? I'm sorry, was that Quinn Taylor that he ran into, or was that Merrill?
No, that was Sam Merrill.
Okay.
Not
I
quite
just looked
in
up at
position.
the last second and saw the contact.
Yeah, not quite in position.
Here's
so.
Washington with the ball now. High up top. It's going to leave it back for Jake Toulson. Goes to the left side. Lowell tries to drive by Miller. Stopped nicely. Now throws out to the right side. Into the corner. Washington tries a scoop layup and gets it by the outreach of Quinn Taylor. Lays it up and in. 40-31.
Yeah, Washington, he's got a little hesitation move that we kind of stand straight up and he gets by us.
Torian Knight with a similar move on the other end, but this was blocked by Steele, picked up by Washington, and a foul by Dwayne Brown Jr. as Washington was trying to take off the other way.
Yeah, again, you know, Aggie's a little out of sorts. Ketta not in the game. Not able to make an outside shot right now kind of hurts us. We forced the ball in, you know, down on hard penetration 2 or 3 times and kind of come up empty. You're trying to shoot over a defender. I'd like to see a little skip pass, maybe for an open three, get that floor opened up a little bit.
And so the Aggies now with 5 team fouls here in the first half. Another scoop layup by Washington. It is now a 7-point game with 12:51 left to play. Merrill with the ball, takes a screen on the right side from Quinn Taylor and then is stopped on the dribble. Gives back to Taylor, gets the ball back, and now drives to the right, and he's bumped and fouled. This should go against Isaiah White. And this will be team foul number 3. And for White, that is his 3rd personal as well. 7-0 run for UVU, by the way, over the last minute 14. They've hit their last 3 shots, and Utah State is now just one of their last 8.
Yeah, with a couple forced shots at the basket, you know, Sam did a good job there. He got some contact, but, you know, if we don't get that foul right there, again, we're just up with a turnover.
Taylor catches the ball into the high post, looks for a cutting Merrill, can't find him. Now they go around the horn to the right side. It'll go to John Knight III. Backs into a defender, knocks him over. Loose ball as he goes up after a shot was blocked. But a loose ball is grabbed by Ketta. Now back out to Merrill, who hits a 3. Sam Merrill knocks down a 3. The lead is back to 10, and the energy's back in the building.
Yeah, Ketta offensive rebound big time. Jumps up, grabs that rebound, throws it to Sam, and we finally get a 3-pointer. Washington takes the screen from McDougal. Now stopped by Knight, stripped by Knight. Picked up now by Quinn Taylor. Going the other way, Taylor. Trying to take it coast to coast there for a moment, but he's bumped and fouled at the moment that he was starting to pass over to Miller, who was in the right corner. But for a half second there, it looked like he might be trying to rumble all the way to the basket. So we'll step aside for just a moment. We have a timeout with 12 minutes even left to play here in the second half. Utah State 43, UVU 33. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. To the Spectrum here in Logan tonight, where the Utah State Aggies hold a 43-33 lead over the Wolverines of Utah Valley. And with Coach Beckert, I'm Tony Parks with you here tonight. Coach, you saw UVU get this thing down to 7. Big 3 there by Merrill makes it a 10-point lead. But the Aggies, this is an interesting next stretch of minutes here because Ketta, you know, with 3 fouls, you're still going to see him out there on the floor. You get the feeling there's a run coming from one of these 2 teams, and it's really going to dictate
kind of whether or not this thing could be interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, the great equalizer in basketball is a three-point shot, and you know, the Aggies made, I think, their first one of the second half, and you know, if Utah Valley gets that going, you know, they can close that gap pretty quick.
Merrill tonight, by the way, is 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3 so far on the night. Here's a drive by Merrill, goes up to the rim, he's blocked, he's fouled, and he will shoot 2. The foul here is going to be called on Isaiah White, and for White, that is his 4th personal. This is the 15th foul, and that foul that took place, by the way, right before the break was on Washington, and that ended up being his 1st. So Merrill to the free throw line. Merrill's first free throw is up and good.
Yeah, you know, really happy right there to see Sam with a jump stop, right? A lot of times when you're a penetrating team, you always want to try to split defenders and get downhill and force your action to the rim. But right there, he just jump stops, lift fakes, gets his guy in the air. 2 points on the free throw line.
Sam Merrill hits both. He has 11 so far in the game this evening, and the lead is back to 12. 45-33 the score. Washington with the ball out on the left side. Now lobs to McDougal, but he's far away from the basket as he makes the catch. Straight away, Lowell a 3. That's off the rim, no good. Merrill chases down the rebound, and Nemish Keta is down. Nemish Keta is down on the ground right now and slow to get up. He's on his hands and knees at this exact moment. And the Aggies, who suffered so many big injuries a year ago, is now looking at such a big difference maker laying on the ground. And they are immediately going to work on what seems to be his right ankle or foot. And Keta's in some serious pain. I didn't see what happened there.
Yeah, just trying to get a replay here and see if he didn't get tangled up. Yeah, that's a knee injury. It looks like his right knee kind of gets tangled up with the player and just kind of ends up, looks like he kind of wrapped up his right knee there.
Trainer's out there on the court right now, and he is putting almost no weight whatsoever on that right leg at all. And that is tough to see. He has made such a big difference, not just on the court, but off the court for this team. I mean, it's a part of the game. We absolutely understand it, but my goodness, what a tough guy to lose at this point. Not just to the game, and you hope that he won't be out for an extended period of time. I
mean, you know, and if you're an Aggie fan, you've watched us the last 5 years, you know, I mean, it's, you know, 4 games into the season, and, you know, there goes our big man down with a knee injury. So let's hope that's just a little twist, a little tweak. You know, obviously they went to the monitor, you know, anytime you have a player go down in a heap. There was nothing there, just legs getting caught up, and he kind of got twisted around, and you know, that's an unfortunate. We'll just have to see how that progresses.
All right, man. Well, we will update you as much as we can as the broadcast continues on. But Nemish Keta went down and was certainly in a lot of pain and barely put any weight whatsoever on that right leg. All right, 45-33 the score. Utah State on top of UVU. Out into the right corner is Brock Miller. They go straight away now to John Knight III. And now here comes Merrill with the ball. Left side goes to Dwayne Brown Jr. for a 3 on the left angle. That's no good. And a foul away from the ball on the rebound. This is going to go against Lowell as he fouled Quinn Taylor. And this will be team foul number 6.
Yeah, it's
the second foul on Lowell.
Yeah, 2 of those, right? He just kind of wraps his arms around him because Quinn Taylor's working so hard.
Here's Taylor now going to work right on Lowell. He goes up, he's fouled, he'll shoot 2. And I'm not sure, they're gonna call this one on Connor McDougal. Lowell was guarding and McDougal came over to help. And they got the foul on that, so Quinn Taylor goes to the line.
Yeah, you know, the problem is that's McDougal's 4th foul for them, so they'll need to sub in here.
That is number 4 for McDougal. So now Bailey Steele will make his way back into the game. A big moment right there. Keta goes out of the game. Utah State is able to get a trip to the free throw line, draw a couple of fouls here. That was a big one on that loose ball with the rebound. Yeah, otherwise, UVU, I believe, would have had the ball there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Quinn Taylor doing his work and getting in a good position and forcing McDougal to wrap him up, excuse me, and that's the first one. And then, you know, immediately Coach Smith goes to an ISO play for Quinn, and we draw a foul on. You know, I think that ends up to be let's see who's that on McDougal there to get him 4 fouls.
Quinn Taylor rattled short on the first free throw, back rim and in on the second free throw. That split gives Utah State a 13-point lead, 46-33, with 11:05 left to play here in regulation. On the left side, Washington drives to the hoop. It's blocked off the glass. John Knight III doing a great job defensively. Merrill crosses over on the defender, bumped and fouled. He'll go to the free throw line shooting 1-and-1. This foul's going to go against Jake Toolson.
Yeah, free throws
number 3.
Free throws down the stretch here, you know, are going to pay big dividends. So Aggies need to step up, make the free throws, and move on. What a fine block by John Knight III, right? He gets beat off the dribble, and he's able to come from behind and then swat that off the backboard.
Merrill, the front end, got it. Sam Merrill has been a terrific leader for this team, terrific leader for this program. This team he's experienced them facing a lot of adversity over the last couple of years, and he has been as mentally tough as anybody. Missed the second end, but offensive rebound, Quinn Taylor. Taylor back to Merrill. Merrill tries to drive towards the base. He's cut off. Now Taylor drives into the middle, has it knocked away and stolen. That time defensively, nice job by Connor Toolson. Lowell has it straight away. Now hands off to the left side. Jake Toolson drives, lays it up, scores it, no basket, as he was fouled on the drive, and the Aggies did have a foul to give.
Yeah, it's just, you know, right now the Wolverines are just kind of lining us up, spreading us out and trying to drive to the basket. Aggies need to be disciplined and stay in a stance and guard their man.
47-33, Aggies up 14 with 10:38 to play in regulation. Long pass from the baseline, and Jake Toolson had to make a nice one-handed catch that time as he played wide receiver for a minute. Connor Toolson with the ball high out right, takes a screen from Bailey Steele, guarded nicely by Miller, floats it, tries to get it over Miller, and it's blocked by Brock Miller and out of bounds. It's been a few terrific defensive plays individually, just cutting off the drive to the paint.
Yeah, 7 seconds on the shot clock here. Brock Miller, he's a fine defensive player. He's really improved.
Jake Toolson's got to go to work right away, and he goes up against Merrill through the trees, floats it up with the right hand, and he scores. As Quinn Taylor was coming over, but it didn't matter. He scored by him. 47-35 the score. Dwayne Brown Jr. hands off now to Brock Miller. Right side to Knight, and into the right corner. Sam Merrill has it poked away and stolen. Nice defensive play by Connor Toolson. Connor Toolson now between the legs dribble, drives right of the lane, bumps into Merrill, still bumping, floats it up off the glass around the rim. It just does come off. Boy, that was close.
Ooh, yeah, Aggie's fortunate there. You know, Sam's not trying to foul him, just keeping his hands up. Yeah, and unfortunately that ball bounced out for the Wolverines.
John Knight III with the ball out on the right side, moves towards the middle, now bounces on the block. Quinn Taylor's got a mouse in the house, and he has it stripped away and stolen. He had a nice mismatch there with Washington guarding him, but the help came, and the ball was taken away. Does he have to go to work quicker there?
Yes, that dribble allows Lowell to come over and kind of strip it, right? If he doesn't dribble, if he just makes his move, you know, we've got probably a basket or pass out for a three.
Brock Miller is called for a foul, trying to fight through a screen. How about the best news for right now? Guess who's coming in the game? Nemish Keta. After he went down the way he did and laid there in some agony and pain, he is back in the game here tonight. That is unbelievable news for the Aggies.
Yeah, I thought it was a good sign when they didn't take him to the locker. You know, sometimes big guys, man, they don't go down smooth. They go down hard. And you know, we're fortunate to have him come back and see how that knee's doing.
So Brock Miller was called fighting through the screen. He fouled Washington, who's at the line for 1-on-1. He makes the first. The second one is on the way, and it's off the rim, off the backboard, off the rim, and in. Nemish Keta making his way back down the floor right now. He's trying to see if there's any sort of limp whatsoever or any sort of hesitation to the way he plays and what we're used to seeing. Torian Knight in the game, hands off to John Knight. And Knight will back it out by the half-court logo. John Knight III driving into the arms of the leaping defender, Connor McDougal. And on the play, they're going to call a travel. Kind of did that jump stop move there in the lane. And they're calling it for a traveling violation.
Yeah, so what the referee's saying is that when he jump stopped, both feet didn't come down together, but that's pretty ticky-tack stuff.
All right, Toolson with the ball straight away. Goes left side to White. He'll rise and fire a three. Had a good look, and he missed. Diogo Brito with the rebound. Hands off to Torian Knight. Knight down the floor for Keta. Shot fake, up, under, bump, no call, no foul. Loose ball on the baseline. It's out of bounds to Utah State. That shot fake got everybody off of their feet.
Yeah, you know, and normally Keta would jump right up and dunk that with two hands. It looked like he was a little ginger there. So that, and he might be bothering him just a little bit. He couldn't explode up. He tried to finger roll it instead.
All right, Aggies inbounding from the baseline, 23 on the shot. Dwayne Brown Jr. driving across the lane, banging into a defender, tries to go up with it, has it blocked and knocked away. 47-37 Aggies, 8.5 minutes left to play here in regulation. Lowell hands off to a three-point shooting Toulson. Long off the back of the rim, no good. Loose ball, foul on the rebound. McDougal ended up bumping into and fouling Diogo Brito, and that will be his 5th personal foul, and it will send Brito to the line for 1-1. The left-right chant is going on. We'll let them go. He hasn't sat down yet. They're waiting to yell at him to sit down. Here it is. No, he didn't do it. We're waiting for it. As Burrito's at the free throw line right now, shooting 1-1.
He'll wait to sit down when Diego's ready to shoot it. That way our fans yell when we're shooting a free throw.
Here's Burrito. Front end of the 1-1. Makes the front end.
Classic.
So much fun.
Classic.
Way too much fun here tonight. Second free throw from Diogo Brito is off the front rim backboard and in. 49-37. Aggies with a 12-point lead. 8:23 left to play in regulation.
Happy to see the student section involved and cheering and getting after the team.
What a great atmosphere. Jake Toulson passes underneath for Harward, who's checked into the game. He bangs into Keta, floats it up with the right hand, can't get it over Nemish Keta. He comes down with it, gives to John Knight III. Here comes John Knight III, crossing over on defender, into the lane, lays it up and can't finish. John Knight III steals it away. It was grabbed by Harward, he stole it away, now gives to Brito. Now they go into the right corner, and as Brito got into the lane, he crashed into a defender, and he's called for a charge. Wild sequence.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Aggies need to calm down a little bit and take their time a little bit on offense down the stretch here.
Aggies with a 12-point lead. You get the feeling one more punch, and they could finish this game against UVU, but they have 7:55 left to play in regulation. 49-37, Utah State on top. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. Lively crowd here tonight, and they're happy to see Utah State up 49-37 here with 7:55 left in regulation. With Coach Beckert, I'm Tony Parks, and Coach, a stretch there with Utah State as they went off on a terrific run there at the end of the half. UVU's been able to make a push a couple of times. They got this thing, what was once a 16-point lead, down to 7. However, they have not been able to break through that, and Utah State is up 12 now.
Yeah, you know, it's hard for the student section to find points to cheer, right? I mean, this is a 17-17 at second half. You know, the score's tied in the second half. And so student sections, they're trying to find some way to get behind their hometown Aggies.
Utah State also pounding them on the glass, up 49-37. Washington trying to find some room in the paint. Doesn't find much as he shoots it over Brock Miller. Short off the rim, rebound Miller. And here come the Aggies up by 12 and with the ball. High out left, it's Diogo Brito. Take a screen from Keta. Now goes straight away to Brock Miller. Now Miller will screen for Knight as he gives it to Knight. Keta now straight away again. Keta looking for somebody to pass to, instead hands off. Merrill, a three, on the way, just rims out. Loose ball on the ground. Keta hits the deck. A foul is going to be called against UVU. And now the double bonus for Utah State. Keta will shoot 2 as this foul goes against Harward. And we were talking about this. The Aggies are starting to pound them on the boards. It was 49, or well, what was it? Yeah, 49, or rather 45-30 on the rebounds. They're starting to really dominate them in that category.
Yeah, and you know, the one that stands out is 16 offensive rebounds. That'll be the one that Coach will really be most happy with.
First free throw no good from Nimish Keta. Bailey Steele checks in, so does Connor Toolson for UVU. Coming into this game, the Wolverines were actually a pretty good team when it comes to rebounding the basketball and keeping UVU off the offensive glass. It was going to be a big point of emphasis. Second free throw good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's key to the game, right? We've stopped them in transition, haven't given up any threes in transition, and then we've owned the glass.
Connor Toolson with the ball straight away. Aggies up 50-37 with 7:12 left to play in regulation. High post they go. Bailey Steele with it. Holding, now gives over to Jake Toolson. He loses it off his foot. Miller throws it down the court. John Knight III throws it down with 2 hands. Explosive plays defensively from the Aggies, leading to opportunities on the other end. 15-point lead. And the storm continues from the Aggie defense and from the Aggie fans. Loose ball as Bailey Steele got a post-entry pass. It's out of bounds off of Steele. The Aggies get the ball back.
Yeah, great stretch by the Aggies. I think it's once a game, right? You know, John Knight gets a little breakout, and the crowd all stands up. They know something big's coming. What a great finish.
No, it's terrific. Great pass also from Brock Miller. Here's Keta holding up high. Goes straight away to Diogo Brito. Merrill with the ball right side. Or rather left side. Now goes to Brito. Now straight away to Merrill. Merrill lobs. Keta on the block against Steele. Skip pass. John Knight drives the base. Has it stripped. Merrill collects though. Goes left side. Knight a 3. Hits it! John Knight III with the 3. Merrill backpedaling with both hands up with 3 fingers. So is Brock Miller. The fans love the way the Aggies are playing here tonight. 55-37. Aggies up 18. And they have UVU up against the ropes here in the second half. Connor Toolson with the ball out top. And an offensive foul is called on Jake Toolson. He was battling for position there with Sam Merrill. Merrill wasn't going to give up the spot. Great defensive plays here tonight. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's where off-season weight training comes in handy, right? Sam's able to hold his spot. We end up with a wraparound offensive foul. You know, what has John Knight III done for you lately? I mean, the last 3 minutes, he's flied around defensively, he's flown around defensively, and makes a big-time 3 and a big-time dunk.
Boy, John Knight III here continuing to play a great game straight away. Diogo Brito, left side, Merrill. Now straight away to Brito, lob, down low, Keta slams it down with 2 hands, and a technical foul will be called on Keta for the dunk. Saying he hung on the rim.
Bit of a chin up there, a bit of a chin up.
Let's see this. Okay, so me personally, I'm not calling that. I'm not calling that. I think it's a bad rule anyway in the college game. But these guys aren't 15, okay? And there's no worries about, and by the way, you have, these hoops are not just going to come crashing down. All right, technical free throws, Connor Toolson at the line. Oh, the fans are letting him have it. He misses on the front end here tonight. If something goes against the Aggies, something like that, the fans are up and roaring. He misses that technical free throw. 57-37. So that is a personal foul as well as a technical foul. And for Keta, that will end up being his 4th. Now they're saying it's not a personal. Now there's a discussion about whether or not it's also a personal. We'll talk about that here in a second. Straight away, UVU with the ball. They're down 20 now after the Keta slam dunk. 57-37. Toolson flares out left. Now runs into a double team. Backs it up. Toolson still trying to get by Burrito. 10 on the shot. Loses the handle. Picked up now by Miller. Miller with his eyes up court. Hits Merrill. Merrill between the leg dribble. Now throws down low. Burrito scores! Aggies by 22. Student section exploding to life. Pom-poms, the white ones waving around. And the Aggies have put the dagger in the Wolverines with a terrific run. 12-0 over the last 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Utah State on fire. 59-37 the score. 5:04 left to play here in regulation. You're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. 59-37 the score here tonight. Utah State all over UVU. with a terrific 12-0 run with Coach Beckert. I'm Tony Parks. Coach, what can you say about that stretch?
I'll tell you what, it all started on the defensive end, right? Stops and fast breaks.
This crowd just keeps pouring on. They get on top of you, and the Aggies start playing like this. Now, this is already a tough enough place to play. Steal by Knight. Diogo Brito throws down to Knight, who jams it with the right hand. Diogo Brito with a terrific pass. Knight poked it loose, and the Aggies continue the storm. Now the other side, White, Isaiah White throws it up. He's fouled, and it is a 24-point lead, a 14-0 run. The foul is on Brito. They're saying this is before the shot, so it should be 1-1 unless it's a double bonus. It is a double bonus. No, it is 9. The officials have been back and forth on a number of things. By the way, the foul on technical foul on Keta is not a personal foul for hanging on the rim at the college level. It went no, yes, and no. Front end of the 1-1, back rim, up in the air, and back in.
Yeah, so it goes up on the board as the fourth foul, but credit Coach Smith. He knows the rule.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about it. He kept in the game. Yeah, great rule knowledge there.
Second free throw. It rattles in. And so it's a 61-39 lead. Well, it's really started on the defense with this run.
Yeah, no doubt. Pokeaways and kind of pressure on the ball.
Just getting a hand, deflections, cutting off passing lanes. It's been incredible. John Knight III has been fantastic. He goes straight away. Miller lobs for an alley-oop, but it's too high for Keta. It's off the glass. Jake Toulson the other way bumps into Brock Miller and lays it up and in over Miller to make it 61-41. So here we go. 61-41 the score. 4 minutes left to play. Merrill floats in, now drives to the baseline, kicks back out to Kenna, handoff back to Merrill. Shot fake a 3, step aside, and now fire 3, no good. Rebound grabbed by Washington of UVU. He'll go pedal down the other way, tries to go over Brock Miller, just runs right into him. They call a foul. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was there and established yet, but good hustle getting back. The Aggies they're needed this timeout right now and kind of regroup and get some water. This group's been out there for quite a while.
Up 20 and in control. Utah State 61, UVU 41. With 3:48 left to play in regulation, you're listening to Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield. The Spectrum here in Logan. Boy, it's been a great time tonight, right? You don't want this thing to end with how well they've been playing here lately.
Yeah.
Aggies in control, up 61-41 with 3:48 left to play here in regulation as Utah State hit UVU with a 14-0 run to extend what was a 10-point lead up to 24. It's now at 20. And just 3 minutes, 48 seconds left to play. With Coach Beckert, I'm Tony Parks. And Coach, I'll tell you what, there's a number of guys to be really happy about in the way that they have played here this evening. Talk to me about John Knight III, that activity on defense, and then obviously some of the spectacular offensive plays that he's made.
Yeah, he's done a great job of kind of, he's kind of filled his way through the first 3 games to see kind of where he belongs and what he needs to do, but he's found a niche. I'll tell you what, his defense is phenomenal. He gets his hand on balls, pokeaways, and then getting him in the open court, it's Katie bar the door. We're gonna try to rip the rim off.
I believed that the Aggies were the better team coming into this, as Washington goes to the line to shoot 2 out of the timeout. But to see them win the way that they have when playing at their optimal level at periods of the second half, that should have Utah State fans very excited.
Yeah, traditionally, this rivalry, it's kind of come down to it. Usually Utah Valley, and they tried this. They tried to come out and really physical us, but the Aggies matched them, power for power, and we just offensively, they can't stop us.
Second free throw is up and good after he made the first one as well, and the lead is down to 18 at 61-43. Boy, the way they have guarded tonight. That being the Aggies, cutting off drives, playing passing lanes, getting a lot of deflections, creating opportunities on the other end. A lot of high energy and high activity. Diogo Brito with the ball straight away. Now goes to Sam Merrill. Now hand it back up to John Knight III, standing out by the midcourt logo. Knight flares out to the left side, still on that dribble. Shot clock at 4, down to 3. Tries to drive, lost the handle. 2, 1, fading 3, and it's short off the rim, no good. Rebound is going to be grabbed by Washington. And here comes Washington, passes down low to Steele. Steele going to work on Ketta, tries a hook shot over the middle. That's not going to happen. Rebound is grabbed by Isaiah White in the paint. He just throws it up off the glass, off the rim. No good. Loose ball, out of bounds. It goes to the Aggies.
Yeah, I mean, Utah Valley's offense right now, I mean, they'll be the first to admit it. I mean, this is embarrassing for them. They can't get anything going. I mean, you know, the Aggies have scouting report defense. They know exactly who they're going to let catch and where they're going to let them finish. And phenomenal job defensively by the Aggies.
Ben Nakwasa comes in the game here for UVU, making his first appearance of the night. And it has been, yeah, a tough night offensively, like you said, for UVU. As they have really struggled to find continuity, and a travel is going to be called on Diogo Brito with 2:46 left in the game. Aggies up 61-43 with 2:46 to play. Connor Toulson tonight was 5 of 13 shooting, ended up with 11 points, but he had to work exceptionally hard for everything that he was able to get. Back cut, and Jake Toulson's block picked up by Bailey Steele, and he lays it in. Bailey Steele, rather, with that finish, and it makes it 61-45 with 2.5 to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes a great block becomes a great pass.
Diogo Brito tries to drive on the right angle. He's cut off, goes to Miller for three. Long rebound is grabbed by Bailey Steele. Washington throws long court to Nakwasa, who's just checked in the game. He'll rise and fire for three. That's short off the rim. John Knight III grabs it, and he will give it off to Sam Merrill, who brings it up across the timeline, and the Aggies will slow it down. Merrill backs it up, takes some time off the clock, will now hand off to Brito. Brito now straight away to Knight, and the Aggies are in no hurry, up 16 with under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, great clock management down the stretch here. Very well coached.
Miller holding up high, shot clock at 5, so Knight's got to go now. He's on the right side, goes down low to Ketta. Ketta with 1 second, goes to a cutting Merrill. Oh, Merrill lays it in. A cutting Merrill, and he beats the shot clock buzzer with a left-hand layup.
Yeah, feed the post and cut to the basket. A buzzer beater by Merrill.
Alley-oop, Bailey Steele knocked away by Diogo Brito from behind. Nice play. And now the Aggies will slow it right down. 1:22 to play, 23 on the shot clock. Utah State's in no hurry here, up 18. As John Knight III will actually crouch down into a catcher's position while dribbling.
Not quite sure
Crossing over on Washington. Now behind the back, dribble between the legs, now goes to Diogo Brito. He floats right side, off the glass, off the rim, no good. Ketta skies in for the rebound, can't get it.
Looks like Diogo twisted an ankle there.
With 59 seconds left, and Diogo Brito now goes down on the baseline. He collided with Ketta on that rebound. And now both players from Portugal have to be helped off the floor here. Utah State, by the way, with 2 of the 4 Portuguese college basketball players. Neemish Ketta to come sit down, Sam Merrill to sit down, and let me tell you, the fans absolutely appreciate their play tonight. Now in the game, Torian Knight, Crew Ainge back into the game as well. Abel Porter back out on the floor. Here's Nakwasa driving left of the, or left angle rather. He's fouled as he goes up, and he'll shoot 2. Winning team, losing team chant. One of the wonderful traditions here at the Spectrum. I got to tell you, this has been a real treat to be with you here tonight, to be with these fans here tonight. This is as good an atmosphere as you could ask for at a college sporting event with these fans and their activity level.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we're bringing back Spectrum Magic as these wins start to pile up at home.
Oh, that'll happen.
You know, it gets more exciting to get out here and leave the dorm and get to the game and be loud.
63-46 after the split free throws from Nakwasa. And there's about 20 seconds difference between shot and game clock here. John Knight III has it high outright. Started heavily by White, goes into the corner, and Abel Porter will now back it all the way to midcourt again. Shot clock down to 10. Abel Porter looking for a driving Fakira who catches and scores. Long court pass knocked out of bounds by Utah State as Torian Knight goes skying into the UVU bench. 27.5 seconds left to play here in regulation. The shot clock's at 28, which means they can just turn it off.
And with Bean coming in the game, that's all 12 players.
There you go. So everybody got some time on the floor tonight. The activity level has been high. The team play has been solid. 65-46 the score. Nakwasa with a strong drive, goes up high, can't get it. Crew Ainge grabs the rebound. Now over to Abel Porter, and Coach Smith is saying, back that out. Don't you dare run this up on them. Listen to the chants. Listen. The Aggies, they run out the clock. The fans throwing some toilet paper out there into the stands. And ladies and gentlemen, this is just mid-November.
Yeah, it's great, really feeding off the atmosphere tonight. The Aggies defensively, just a great job.
So much fun here tonight. And a huge thank you to everybody for helping make this a great broadcast this evening. Talon Chapel back there in the studio. Also Lance Beckert alongside my left side right here. Kyle Cottom for all of his help as well. And big thanks to Scotty G for his assistance here this evening. And best of luck to him tomorrow on the call with Colorado State and Utah State. So we'll have the Utah State postgame show coming up around the corner. The final score, the Aggies 65 and the Wolverines 46. And the winner is Utah State. Thanks so much for listening. This is Utah State basketball on the Aggie Network from Learfield.